Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's my honor and privilege to welcome you all to a gathering which is a bit different. Today we have gathered here to celebrate knowledge creation. We always felt academic excellence does not get its due. Cultural and sports activities have a much larger clientele, but unless one gets a Nobel Prize, it's difficult to hit the headlines. Today, we are going to celebrate and felicitate those who have successfully completed a workshop which was conducted a few days back. Let's begin at the beginning. I'll start with introducing the guests first. And of course the hosts also, because many of us have met virtually beforehand, but not really in physical world. So Dr. Lata would like to call herself a nursing researcher. If everyone comes, then it will be difficult. But Dr. Lata would like to call herself a nursing researcher and nurse educator. She is doing pioneering work in promoting research and enriching the knowledge content of nursing profession. And for me, my only claim to fame is to support two scholars in my family, my wife and my daughter, in their journey towards doctoral degree. Of course, it's not my word. Oishi's supervisor at Manchester told me, you are no less, and since then am I. As I was telling, knowledge is always competing with soldiering in armed forces. When we asked Dr. Bose to introduce himself, he was in a dilemma whether to call Colonel Bose or Dr. Bose. Colonel Prabhash Bose, after an illustrious military career of 3 decades, joined the academia. An alumnus of Military College of Electronics and Mechanical Engineering, Secunderabad, he earned his PhD from NIT Silchar. He is presently the director of Bajbaj Institute of Technology, Kolkata. And behind his successful career, Mrs. Sharmila Bose stood like a solid rock, providing all types of support. And of course, I request Wing Commander Biplab Kumar Dotto, an aeronautical engineer of Indian Air Force, a product of Kharagpur and IIT Mumbai, to felicitate Dr. Bose. He has kindly agreed to do the honors. Mrs. Bhashwati Dotto, we celebrated the Teachers' Day a few days back. We have among us Brigadier Jhunu Bhattacharya, who was a teacher for many generations of nursing officers, including a few who are present here. Besides being in the educational field of nursing, that is as lecturers and professors in College of Nursing, Armed Forces Medical College, she have plenty of clinical experience, and you will be happy to note that she had her valuable contribution during Bangladesh war, during various operations which you had undergone, and he has tended patients, wounded soldiers during hours of crisis. And She is a very senior administrator in the military nursing services, and she retired as Brigadier NS of Eastern Command Army. And we have among us Mrs. Sunanda Sengupta. She is also an academician in her own rights in her working life as teachers in various Air Force schools, and as in IAF, we find the lady wives have a tremendous role to play, and she is one of those ladies who has played the role beautifully and is a corner of inspiration for all of us. She is ideal for a few generations of younger ladies. I'll request Mrs. Sunanda Sengupta to felicitate Brigadier Jhunu Bhattacharya. It's a personal pleasure to introduce to you all Colonel R.K. Bhatti. She is the principal of College of Nursing, Command Hospital, Eastern Command, Kolkata. She is an alumnus of College of Nursing, Armed Forces Medical College. And on a personal note, we are together in Chandigarh when she was a student of MSc, and we shared many moments of crisis together. I'll request Mrs. Gopa Sanyal to felicitate her and to introduce Mrs. Sanyal. She has a unique ability to connect to people, encourage and nurture talents. She has extreme compassion to see good in everyone and everything. I am yet to hear her telling something uncharitable about anyone in the world. Major Radhika Das is posted to Command Hospital, Kolkata. She is also an alumnus of the same college. She is a teacher and keen researcher with a number of good publications in national and international journals. And of course, you hear this logo and Indian Institute of Neuropsychology. This is an organization on which Lata will be dealing in detail, but we have a representative, another representative from that same organization, Mr. Arun Kumar Bhadra. In profession, he is retired as a chief engineer, PWD Government of West Bengal. But more than that, as I was telling in the morning, he is from Jadavpur University of those days. So you can imagine the level. Nothing can compare. Like they say, British Amule, they were matriculate. So that is par excellence. Even doctorate cannot match that. And Air Commodore Biplab Banerjee, we have two Biplavs over here. Air Commodore Biplab Banerjee is a fighter pilot. And this shows the variety of crowd which you have got over here. He got interested and come here to attend the function. We are grateful. I'll request Air Commodore Banerjee to come and felicitate Mr. Arun Kumar Bhadra. She has got magic fingers, very talented lady. She can create wonders with her threads and needles and very insignificant clothes, and she mesmerizes with her creations, be it a blouse, be it a bag, be it a work of hand work. She works with her hands and creates beautiful pieces.
She's a product of Shanti
Of the participants, we have got among us Mrs. Jharna Ghosh, who participated in this workshop. She is the principal of Sister Florence College of Nursing, and Mrs. Jacqueline Jacob with her husband, Mr. Renosh Jacob. Mr. Jacqueline is the faculty of Woodlands College of Nursing, and Mr. Renosh is a relationship manager in DBS Bank. Lieutenant Colonel Sindhu PK, coming from Barakpur, she is posted in the base hospital over there. We are glad that you could make it in between your onerous duties. We are happy. Mrs. Kavita Metia, of course, I have met her many times. Mrs. Kavita Sahu, Mrs. Jui Mondal has come with his son, and whose claim to fame is he has cleared his medical entrance and going to be a budding doctor. And Mrs. Joyashree Chakraborty. Welcome to everyone, and we have got one last minute entry, and I profusely apologize because neither do I know your name, though I know you are our closest neighbor. So, Mr. So I can take liberty with our neighbor. She stays in Soure Nilay.
Pranab Mondal, আমি এক্স-ইঞ্জিনিয়ার পিডব্লিউডি স্টেট গভর্নমেন্ট ওয়েস্ট বেঙ্গল। আমি এমটেক ফ্রম শিবপুর। তো ভদ্র সাহেব আমাকে বললেন,
We will see more of you, please, and your wife also.
We have Mrs. Bhadra also.
Mrs. Bhadra also is there. We will know each other much better over a cup of tea later. But without wasting your time, and thanking you all for taking your time off to come over here for something which normally people describe as boring and academic. Over to Lata.
Good evening to all of you. I'm so happy that you all are here. As he pointed out, this is indeed academic venture. And academic ventures are, yes, he was very correct when he pointed out that we don't give too much of importance. It has got so much importance, but we don't recognize. So today we thought, let us all get together and let us see the culmination of we had 9 or 10 hours of a scientific workshop. I'll come to that later. Let me introduce the Indian Institute of Neuropsychology. You know, all of us here, barring the young man over there, who is going to be a doctor, all of us here are adults. I'm speaking in English for the benefit of few of us who will have a little problem with this in Bengali. You must have learned, no? Okay. So, all of us over here are adults, older adults. We have a legacy. The legacy is for the future. We will be leaving this world maybe in a few years or more. What we have to leave behind is another generation of human beings. And that generation is something who has to be healthy, who has to be not only physically healthy, has to be living in an environment which is healthy, which is conducive for good growth, for having a better earth, a better human civilization. So I was quoting that legacy is not what I or we are doing it for ourselves, but it's what we are doing for the next generation. And as we talk of next generation, what comes is our children. Children, not only our biological children, the children of the citizens of the next generation. When you look into the world of children, many of Madam Jhunu she has a world of children. These children are, they develop into human beings. They grow as small beings and then they grow slowly. Now when they develop, they cross certain milestones. Whenever I say developmental milestones, you will be thinking of physical growth, how big the child is growing or how fat the child is growing, how fast the child is running. But it's not always so. The development is not only in the motor development, like gross or fine motors, but also in the cognitive development. The child slowly learns how to do a finger-mouth coordination, which makes him to eat properly. The child learns how to sit properly with the shoulder erect. And then the child learns how to crawl. So these are all cognitive things also happening. Speech and language development is a part of it. Social and emotional development. These comprehensive things, like a structure cannot stand without pillars. You require not one pillar, but 4, 5, like so many pillars, multiple things to make a structure stand. Similarly, for any human being, for any child, to stand and have a comprehensive growth has to have development in all the milestones. You all agree with me, right? Now what happens in the development, I'm not going to take a class on development, I mean there are better people to take on that. The development, if you see, it occurs in different areas, that you all agree. It occurs during specific periods, like certain time of your life you have certain development, right? And it occurs in sequence, one after the other. The child will not start eating unless and until the child has learned how to do finger-mouth coordination. The child will never be able to run unless the child learns how to stand. So it happens one by one. And the development can vary from child to child. This has to be recognized. Every child is unique. We are not machines that everybody will be similar, right? So looking at the characteristics of development, we should also acknowledge that whenever there is a developmental challenge in front of the child, what we should know that there is no conventional treatment procedure, neither there is no medicine or surgery for it. Developmental challenges. And developmental challenges, when you look into that, it's a big spectrum, it's a big range. We are just focusing on one part, autism spectrum disorder, for example. You know, if you look at the two criteria which are given for diagnosing autism, all of you are aware of it. It is persistent deficits in social communication. See how important it is. It is not physical. The child must have grown. The child is able to do many things, but is unable to communicate socially, not able to interact with the environment. And the child has got restricted, repetitive patterns of behavior or interests or similar type of things the child is going on doing. So this is just one focus, what we are trying to focus on the behavioral aspects. If you look into the statistics, you will find from 2007 onwards till 2023 we have, this thing has suddenly increased. 1 in 150, then slowly it has started increasing, and now in United States of America, it is the final, this thing is the latest, I won't say final, that out of every 36 children in the United States, 1 is autistic. We don't have our figures as such. Okay. This may be also due to the fact that, the more screening facilities are available. That also can be one of the reasons. Now, the question comes, what the scientific world has done for this. There are a range of promising interventions. I told there is no conventional treatment, but there are a lot of interventions which the scientists are trying to find out, like developmental, sensory, communication, behavioral, pharmacological, educational, complementary therapies, parents training. There's huge spectrum of interventions which researchers are trying to find one by one and trying to equip people to address this disorder. Now, what Indian Institute of Neuropsychology is believing on the paradigm of this, that parents have the most important role and parents can create a nurturing environment that influences the child's developmental journey. This is like, there are many things available. However, we believe, our philosophy is this. Based on that, we are focusing all our services. The primary aim of Indian Institute of Neuropsychological Council is promoting comprehensive child development, not only autism, for all type of child development, and it is based on 3 pillars: parenting, learning and therapies. It is believed that there are different therapies which are available for the children. You must have heard of speech therapy, language therapy. There are many things which are available. However, we do believe that a therapy which is targeted at the child will not be able to work properly unless and until the child learns in a conducive atmosphere where the parents are interacting with the child in the proper way. Otherwise, what happens? It becomes counterproductive. The child comes out of the therapy, goes back into the same environment where the child is spending more than 18-20 hours with the parents. That, if that environment is not conducive, the therapy which the child is learning will not be, it will be rather counterproductive. So with this belief, we focus on this. The main, it was started as a registered organization under the Ministry of Corporate Affairs and Government of India, and the main activities, the basic thing is IIN PTP, we call it, a parents training program model, which has got a basic module and standard module. And I would like to show, he is the person, his name is Subhashish Dotto, he is based at Raiganj. All of you have met, most of you virtually. He's a psychologist who is doing this intervention, the parents training program. There are other different types of therapies are also available in this IIN. We have, other than that, we have a World Health Organization CST program. Actually, Subhashish is a facilitator of the WHO program. There are screening and diagnostic services, therapies are available. There is social outreach program. We do believe that it is not only the parents, you know, the students who are today undergraduate, the young people who are going to become parents in future. They are also be learning about this, like how to do this. Like they are also supposed to be trained. Not only that, the people who are working in the corporate sector, after their office hours, they are again coming back home, they become parents, right? So everybody requires some sort of understanding, some sort of training to deal with these situations. And then we also have research program. So on behalf of the research wing of IIN, we have, I'll just present what we decide that whatever we do, whatever decision we make about the interventions, about the child, about the therapies, it should be evidence based. Now those who are research oriented will know we talk of evidence based. Evidence based means, evidence means proof, right? So whatever you're doing, it should be having an evidence. It is not that I think that this intervention will work, or it is not that my grandmother thought like that, or according to my opinion, or according to the WhatsApp message. It's not like that. It's according to the research evidence, which is done in a very rigorous way. That evidence is being utilized for making any decision regarding the intervention. Refinement of intervention. Today's intervention may not be effective tomorrow. We may have to change strategies, and we should always change strategies based on evidence out of research, right? We have intramural and extramural research. Intramural researches are conducted inside. We are trying to have a logical framework of the intervention, what we are doing. Extramural research, I'll be requesting all researchers of all different fields who wants to collaborate with this in an extramural form can join us. And the research wing of IIN also has this responsibility of advancement of knowledge. I'll be dealing a little more about it. Under that we have research training. Now there comes today's program. Like we are conducting research training for different people, for different discipline. Out of that we had a manuscript writing, a scientific writing workshop of 9 hours, which was conducted in the month of August. It was an online course, which in the beginning I myself had doubt whether it will be possible or not, but then it was a very, very intense workshop. All participants do agree with me. I will take their feedback as well. It was a very intense workshop where we tried to share, discuss and deliberate on how we can put our research into a scientific language and try to disseminate to the world, not keeping it to ourselves, trying to tell the whole world. Radhika has got so many publications. She knows how difficult it is to step inside the international, scientific world. Colonel Bose also, he's nodding his head, yes, he knows. It's very difficult. So, we require to, and English is not our mother tongue, and we require to communicate with the public in English. So, writing it in the proper way, that was what we did that workshop for this in the last month with the participants. We also have plans, we have not yet, but we have plans to hold conferences to target all, the whole target population is not only the parents, but also of parents of normal children, for all healthcare providers, of all normal people who are dealing with the next generation, for everybody. We have a journal club also. Now in this context, this journal club is something which is I don't know how many of you are acquainted with the journal club concept. Anyone over here? Journal club? Yes, you have ideas. We had in our Armed Forces Medical College journal club.
Now also we are having
in your college? That's lovely. Okay. So what we are having in IIN is a platform which is designed to foster intellectual growth, critical thinking, and interdisciplinary collaboration. Basically, like in our colleges, we had always been trained in journal club, but it was within ourselves. IIN Journal Club, we're trying to reach out to people. Like we have engineers among us, we have people in administration who had been working in the administration, people in management, people in medical science, people not only in healthcare, in any discipline. Let us collaborate with each other. And we want to collaborate not only with the community of scholars, researchers and practitioners, but also with the consumers in the field of healthcare. And I think none of you will disagree if I say all of you are into this. All of you are at least consumers, if not providers, you are consumers of healthcare service. So I'll be inviting everybody to this present over here to the Journal Club membership. I'll be telling you how to deal with it. It is, if you want to know a detail about it, we are planning to hold it monthly. Like it will be the interdisciplinary in the sense like it is not only healthcare. There may be certain advances which are taking place now. Like for example, Chandrayaan. It happened. I had seen ladies who has really not having much of scientific training. They are asking how is artificial intelligence used in that. So getting people to develop a scientific temperament among the normal, all of us. We are planning this journal club where we discuss normal scientific things which are happening around us. I would say normal, general scientific things which are out of healthcare. Okay, those things we can discuss, we can update each other, and we will be holding it once in a month for that. So all participants, everybody, I'm inviting to join this. And with this, I'll be finishing this presentation. Before we go into the award ceremony, I'll share some videos with you, or should we do it after the award? You want? These videos are, of, we were talking of parents training program. Parents training program is happening. It's a very simple program, very simple, but very unique. You always believe na anything which is simple is actually very effective, right? A complex learning is complex, but a simple learning. So this intervention which has been given, how it works, we will just take a glimpse of that.
Assalamu alaikum. আমরা আনাফের বাবা মা, আমরা ঢাকা বাংলাদেশ থেকে বলতেছি। ফার্স্ট যখন 2 বছর আর 2.5 বছর, তখন ফার্স্ট আসলে আইডেন্টিফাই হয় ওর মাইল্ড অটিজম। ওই সময় আমরা আসলে এক হলো গিয়া জিনিসটা আমাদের কাছে সম্পূর্ণ নতুন, এবং আমরা বুঝতে পারি না যে আসলে কি করব। সঠিক দিক নির্দেশনা না পাওয়ার কারণে যেটা যে আমরা আমাদের ভূমিকার থেকেও আমরা মূলত ডিপেন্ড করতে থাকি থেরাপিস্টের উপরে। বিভিন্ন ধরনের থেরাপি, বিভিন্ন নিউরোলজিস্ট তাদের কাছে আমরা বেশি যাওয়া শুরু করি, এবং এভাবে কাজ করতে করতে এক সময় এসে যেটা হলো যে আমাদের স্ট্রেস আরো বাড়তে থাকে, এবং আমাদের স্ট্রেস যখনই বাড়তে থাকে আমরা দেখতে থাকি যে আনাফের বিহেভিয়ারাল কিছু ইস্যু আস্তে আস্তে সামনে চলে আসে। ওর যখন 3 বছর বয়স, ও তখন কামড় দেওয়া, খামচি দেওয়া এই ধরনের বিহেভিয়ার শুরু করে, এবং আমরাও আসলে মেন্টালি স্টেবল না থাকাতে আমরাও মাঝে মধ্যে এই প্রতিক্রিয়া দেখাতে শুরু করি। এরপরে আমরা ওর যখন 4 বছর 2 মাস, তখন আমরা মূলত IIN এর সাথে কাজ শুরু করি, আজ থেকে প্রায় 9 মাস আগে। এবং IIN এর সাথে কাজ করার পরে IIN যেটা সবচেয়ে বেশি যে গুরুত্বপূর্ণ অংশ সেটা হলো যে প্যারেন্টাল হেলথ, যেটা পজিটিভ প্যারেন্টিং, সেটা হাসি মুখ পজিটিভ প্যারেন্টিংটা তারা ফোকাস করে সবচেয়ে বেশি।
কিন্তু IIN টিমের সাথে যখন থেকে আমি ক্লাসে অন্তর্ভুক্ত হই, তখন থেকে আমার কাজের স্ট্র্যাটেজিও আমি চেঞ্জ করলাম। তো এখন বুঝতে পারছি যে বাচ্চা যখন জেদের মধ্যে থাকে বা রেগে বা চঞ্চল থাকে, তখন সে কিছু শিখতে পারে না। তো IIN থেকে আমি টিপস পেয়েছি যে বাচ্চা যখন শান্ত থাকে তখনই শুধু সে শিখতে পারে। মানে আমি যখন ওকে কোনো কিছুতে জোর করি না, তখন দেখা যাচ্ছে যে উইলিংলি সে আমার পাশে আসতেছে, বা মা কী করতেছে সেটা সে দেখতে চাচ্ছে নিজের থেকে। বাট আগে যখন আমি ওকে ইনস্ট্রাকশন দিতাম যে বাবা এটা করো, এটা দাও, সাহিল এটা দাও, তাহলে ও রেগে যেত, অনেক রেগে যেত, অনেক কান্নাকাটি করতো, মানে জেদ করতো, মানে করতে চাইতো না।
যেটা হয়েছে আমাদের সাথে কমিউনিকেট করার প্রবণতাটা কাইফের অনেক বেশি বেড়ে গেছে এবং কোনো দরকারে এখন সে আমাদের কাছে খুব সহজেই আসে এবং তাড়াতাড়ি ওই জিনিসটা পাওয়ার জন্য সে বিভিন্ন ধরনের ভাবে সাউন্ড ক্রিয়েট করে বা পয়েন্টিং করে আমাদের কাছে ওই জিনিসটা পাওয়ার জন্য চেষ্টা করে।
প্লাস আরেকটা জিনিস খুব ভাইটাল, সেটা হচ্ছে যে কাইফ আমাদেরকে আঙ্গুল ধরে টেনে নিয়ে যাচ্ছে, এই জিনিসটা যে পাওয়ার অফ কমিউনিকেশন না, এটাও আমরা বুঝেছি। আসলে সে আমার দিকে কতটুকু তাকাচ্ছে, ওই জিনিসটার দিকে তাকিয়ে কতটুকু ওইটাকে পয়েন্টিং করছে, এটার মাধ্যমে যে পাওয়ার অফ কমিউনিকেশনটা বিল্ড আপ হয়, এটা আমরা আইএনএর কাছ থেকে শিখেছি। এবং আমাদের কাছে মনে হয় কাইফের যদি আগে এই লেভেলটা 10 থেকে থাকে, সেটা এখন 30-তে ইনক্রিজ করেছে। এটা আমাদের কোন চিন্তা ভাবনা থেকে আমরা বলছি। এবং এটা করার জন্য কাইফ যেটা করছে সেটা হচ্ছে যে ওপেন হ্যান্ড পয়েন্টিংটা বাড়িয়ে দিয়েছে। সে হাত দিয়ে দেখাচ্ছে, আঙ্গুল দিয়ে দেখাচ্ছে যে এটা সে চায়।
আমি মনে করতাম যে খুশি হয়ে ওকে কোলে নিয়ে নাচলেই বোধহয় উপকার হবে, আসলে না। ও যেভাবে খেলতেছে আমি সেভাবে খেলার চেষ্টা করি, ও যেভাবে খেলছে এর চেয়ে একটু ব্যতিক্রম করলে ও দেখি আমারটা তখন ফলো করতে শুরু করে। আমি দরজা নক করলে ও দরজায় কে বলে আওয়াজ দিয়েছে, এতদিন দেয়নি। আমি খুব আবেগতাড়িত হয়ে যাচ্ছি কথাগুলো বলতে, যে সত্যি আমি ধন্যবাদ জানাচ্ছি আইআইএনকে।
আনাফের যে গাড়ি খেলাটা একটা খুব সিম্পল যে গাড়ি খেলা, ওর সাথে খুব এনার্জেটিক, হাসি মুখে ওর সাথে ওর আই লেভেলে বসে ওর সাথে খেলা। এবং সেখান থেকে আমরা দেখলাম যে জাস্ট একটা খেলা, ওর সাথে আমরা খেলছি, কিন্তু ওর কমিউনিকেশন লেভেল, ওর চয়েস, ফুড সেটা হোক, আদার্স সব কিছুই, মানে সব কিছুতেই আমরা রেজাল্ট পেতে লাগলাম।
ওকে আমরা মেনে নিয়েছি। প্রথমে আমাদেরকে ওকে মানিয়ে নেওয়া, এইটা আমাদের মধ্যে ছিল না আগে। আমরা ওকে বলতাম আমাদের কি, আমরা কি অন্যায় করেছি তাই আমাদের এইরকম বাচ্চা হয়েছে, এরকম আমাদের একটা মানে মনে একটা অশান্তি ছিল, সেই জায়গা থেকে আমরা
আমি যখন জানতে পেরেছিলাম যে আমার শিশু স্বাভাবিক নয়, তো জানার পরে মানে আমি ভীষণই ভেঙে পড়েছিলাম। সেখান থেকে এই জায়গায় আসাটা হয়তো IIN না এলে সম্ভবই হতো।
जब से हम लोग IIN के साथ जुड़े हैं तो हम लोगों ने काफ़ी ज़्यादा डेवलपमेंट देखा है आहन में। पहले वो कम वर्ड्स में बात करता था और ज़्यादातर इशारों में ही बात करता था, अभी वो 2-3 वर्ड्स के सेंटेंसेस तक बोल देता है।
আমার বাচ্চার বেশ কিছু অসুবিধা ছিল, তার খেয়াল বা মনোযোগ একদম ছিল না কোনো বিষয়ে, আশেপাশে কোনো শব্দ বা তার নাম ধরে ডাকলেও সে একদম খেয়াল করতো না। আমাদের সাথে তার কমিউনিকেশনেও প্রচুর ঘাটতি ছিল। কোনো কিছু প্রয়োজনে সে হাত ধরে টেনে নিয়ে যেত, কোনো সাউন্ড করা বা পয়েন্ট করে কিছু দেখানো তার মধ্যে একদম ছিল না। মা হিসেবে এসব বিষয়ে খুব হতাশ ছিলাম। তখন IIN-এর সাথে পরিচয়, এবং এখন বলতে পারি IIN-এর সাথে যুক্ত হওয়ার সিদ্ধান্ত মা হওয়ার পর সর্বোত্তম সিদ্ধান্ত আমার।
আগে আমাদের যেটা প্রথম চাহিদা ছিল যে আনাফ কথা বলুক, আর এখন আমরা যে আসলে কথা বলার আগে তো ওকে আমাদেরকে বুঝতে হবে, আমরা ওকে বুঝতে পারবো, সেটা এখন
সেখানে যেটা যদি প্যারেন্টের আমি যেটা মেন্টাল এবং ফিজিক্যাল যদি আন্ডারস্ট্যান্ড ভালো না থাকে, তাহলে আসলে বাচ্চার সাথে কাজ করে সেই ধরনের কোনো রেজাল্ট পাওয়া যায় না।
IIN থেকে বলা হয়েছিল যে ট্রেনিংটা টোটালটাই অনলাইনে হবে এবং গার্জেন ট্রেনিংটা এখানে সব থেকে বেশি ইম্পর্টেন্ট। কিন্তু কথাটা আমার কাছে মনে হয়েছিল যে আমার প্রবলেম আমার মেয়ের, কিন্তু আমি গার্জেন ট্রেনিং, আমরা ট্রেনিং নিয়ে কী করব। কিন্তু আজকে বুঝতে পারছি এই গার্জেন ট্রেনিংটা সত্যি ওদের এই ডিফিকাল্টিটাকে অনেকটা সহজ পথে নিয়ে আসে।
It is your gene which has because he is a medical professional. He says it's your gene who is responsible, not my gene. I don't know how he came to that conclusion, but the result is that lady goes to Medinipur Medical College to do her job and her practices because she has to sell out lots of money in looking after those 2 children alone, all by herself. She doesn't have any parental support, both the parents are gone.
Yeah, thank you for that. It is a very practical. Actually, that's what I'm telling. This intervention is not only helping the child finally, but helping the parents to come together. At times, a lot of discord starts when the child is not well. The parents start moving away from each other. So what is taught in that intervention, I wish I can show you all the intervention. It is taught how first to laugh and smile and have an atmosphere of happiness in the family. So when you see both of them together, you will realize that all the parents will be, that is the main focus of us, that they should be together. They should not be separate. I mean, not separate like that, they can be physically separate, one working in one place, another, but mentally together on this job of doing that. Another thing which in this intervention is very unique about working mothers. We all are working mothers, and we had faced, I know how many of you all have faced that guilt that what am I doing? Am I really looking after? We all know that. That the first thing in the intervention is told, you are a working mother. Shubhashi says it so well. It's so nice, so good that you are a working mother. Khub bhalo. The child is lucky to have a working mother, That is what is said. And the mother, you can see the change in the mother, very happy. She feels, okay, no more of, feeling guilty at least. Somebody else is telling me that. Because, they are telling something which you may not be understanding. They are telling open hand pointing and all. These are important parts of communication. A child, see, the mother and the father, they are worried, bacha kyun nahi bol rahe? Why the child doesn't speak? But the speech doesn't come like, the communication, it's, I told you, sequence. It doesn't happen if these things doesn't occur, the previous ones. So what is being, it is not that ki child ko bolne bolo. It is the child is, the parents are made to do certain things which the child starts imitating, and the child slowly starts the communication. Even see, they are telling amar dike takano, the child is looking at me, is so important. Imagine one father told, I have never seen amar bachchar chokgulo eto sundor. The child has never looked at the parents, which can be so disturbing, can you believe, right? With parents having normal children, they won't be able to appreciate this. I mean,
This is online training.
This is online training only. That's the most beautiful thing, part of it. In that way, I think COVID, some good things in COVID is that online things are possible. We are able to reach out to many people at one point of time. So those things, yes. Any one of you who wish to watch that, they have a Voice of Parents, one program once a month. In that also, it's interesting. People who are, basically the idea is to reach out to people. There are many pockets where children are there who may be requiring help. Shampa, you wanted to say something, sorry. Kichu bolte gechile tumi tokhon? I stopped now. Okay, sorry.
But one question, please.
Yeah.
Parenting is never ending.
Yes.
So what if my daughter is 22-year-old now, but I think I still need guidance as a parent?
Yes, you need, yes. You want a training then. We have to make an intervention, yes, of course, to treat her like an adult now.
Yes, of course.
Yes, to treat her.
So I think in every manner, we all parents still need the guidance.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Very true.
One thing, people to accept the child is like that. Like I know a family, just like neighbor.
Madam, get
God knows how the child mukhe bhat in Bengali we say. That time I find the child was absolutely normal. But how it became, as it grew, beautiful child, son. But it had that behavior as though he can't hear, he couldn't hear, or he cannot focus anything. He's growing.
Yes, of course.
A toddler.
Madam, yes, this is also another aspect, like I was telling, accepting. Another is, madam, knowledge gives you a lot of power. Once you know what is the problem of the child, the parents are better equipped. That some parents, they say that till 1.5 to 2 years, the child was doing all right and then suddenly stopped talking. So this is our trajectory in the disorder.
And I found that the main problem was the parents are not accepting that it is
Yes,
the child who is having some problem.
Yes, definitely.
That's the first thing. I as a professional, I felt that this child needs some help. But parents, they don't want to say that they are, how do you who do you, being a relative, I couldn't say anything.
I do understand,
But only
yes.
asked how, are you taking, he's going to a normal school, mind you. But he has improved now. You know how he does? Say good morning, he says good morning. Slowly he says, repeats. You know, which he should have learned in a much younger age. He is learning slowly. But what I mean is, this child really needs, but according to parents, they are going to
They are going
doctors.
to.
He is
And-
fine. He will be all right in due course of time. That's the answer.
Yes.
So these kind of training and the doctor might have told the parent. In fact, they were going into divorce, the husband and wife. As Krishna said, that's family broke. So, but then we were there to say that should not do it.
And yes, and madam, you just said, no, like good morning. You know, there is another thing which I personally learned is it's not only that if your child is very obedient, there is a child, no, you are no more a child, you are an adult. So if the child is too obedient, listening to the mother, sometimes the mothers feel very happy. Mera bachcha mera sab kuch sunta hai, but which is a wrong thing. The child doesn't have initiative. You have killed the initiative at certain stage. You have been training and drilling and making the person into a robotic sort of person.
And as you said, the parents get angry because the mother is hitting the child.
They are available everywhere online. Yes.
Online.
Website you have to ask for there, then the screening, whatever, like finding out what level, whether what type of, like once they undergo the parents, when they undergo 1 month of basic course, what happens is the child will require more help. Basically, the environment of the family is made conducive so the child can accept the therapies. No therapies work unless and until the environment is made conducive. That part is made in the basic.
Anyway, they are doing good effort, I must say, by hearing the parents.
Yes, madam, and in the research wing, and we are doing the research part. This thing. We'll move into the yes.
You said that eye communication for the child with the parents is necessary.
Yes.
The child.
They don't focus only.
They don't focus.
What I feel, what I have understood, my thinking is that after the child is born, the mother and child spends most of the time together.
Yes.
And the mother has got no other job except to get the child.
Yes. And father also.
It's not that. Mother and the child. Mother keeps on looking at the child.
Okay, yes.
Left, right, how many fingers.
Yes. Wonderful it is.
How many fingers in the toe, and everything. So how can you say that there was no eye contact?
No.
At some stage,
Oh, no. I think
the child do not do eye
The child, yes. It is not the parents.
When you are looking at the child, sometimes child
Yes.
is awake. And child
You are talking of
cannot
see what happens in this. Listen, what happens in this is once the child grows to a certain, this autism is like not in the first this thing. Once they grow and the social thing starts, that is the time when the challenges starts. The child may have looked at the mother, may have uttered some words. Some children, they manifest in a very different way. They're clinging to the mother all the time. Going and looking at the child, putting the mother's face near, that is the manifestation. So, yes, definitely. I'm doing that, madam. I'm doing that only. And I think what you are saying is an awareness campaign will be helping a lot. That we are having. We are actually planning for conferences where we make people aware of, like the stakeholders, everybody.
You need some publicity that it is there. It should be on the doorstep, or it should be in the locality, or it should be in the city available.
Yes, madam. It will snowball. You all are 25 of you will be snowballing it to another 5, and then they will have. We expect that.
Online is a good one.
Expect that. We expect that indeed. Manuscript means a publishable research writing. If it comes to my email address, which we can publish, then I'll say yes. That will be the best award on that day for me.
Okay. Mrs. Jharna Ghosh, sir, may I request you to just hand over the certificate. Mrs. Jharna Ghosh.
Sindhu is an army military nursing officer. She has applied, she has already got the AFMRC grant, right? She has finished the project. You know, this is Armed Forces Medical Research Grant. She has already done a research on that. Jacqueline is also a PhD scholar. Kavita's research was on financial implications of people with chronic, with locomotor disabilities, you know, with children with locomotor disabilities, their parents, what economic problems they are facing. Very interesting. But she has not yet published, okay? Can we finish this and tell? Definitely. She is a research scholar, a very, very hardworking and very good researcher, I must say.
There are three more participants who could not be present today. Mrs. Subrata Dalal, Mrs. Sonali Chakraborty, and Mrs. Sucheta Samanto.
One is having 103 fever, another is having, her husband is having 103 fever, and the other person has got some problem. So sorry they couldn't come.
I'll request Brigadier Junu Bhattacharya
I'll
to say a few words.
The organizers, that is Group Captain Krishnendu De and Dr. Lata, and also in the audience, all the honored guests. I won't be able to mention everybody's name. Of course, I know Colonel Ranjit Bhatti, my student, and also the principal, and of course the Florence principal, Mrs. Ghosh, Jharna Ghosh, and the others, all respective the guests here, present here. At the outset, I must thank the Dr. Group Captain Krishnendu and Dr. Lata for inviting me during this award ceremony. It is wonderfully arranged. They were trying the community hall, but instead of that, I mean, we army people don't get deterred for anything. Managed it in this room very well. Hats off to them. And I'm greatly honored and proud to attend this ceremony. Dr. Lata, whom I know, she was my student, you know, and I was just asking her, she passed out in 1990, yes, and she was, and in fact, a very, very brilliant and outstanding student of mine at her adolescent age also. We could, we can identify her. She is of that kind, very enthusiastic, very, energetic, and very much involved in whatever she does. And of course, we know that there is a woman behind a man, for successful man. But here I think a great successful woman has got a man behind, with all the support, and I applaud him a lot. That I said when I came here. So that's a thing we must say. And I must congratulate all the participants and the researchers, young researchers. I am really happy to see this crowd of researchers who have done all this work, and with the help of the great guide of yours. I must wish you all the best for your future endeavors, and you should keep on doing various researches
And you know that research means it is not just a simple thing. It's a very laborious, very tiring sometimes. As you said, some of them are not able to yet get, maybe there are lot of constraints you find in your while you do these studies, and with that you are carrying on. That's a great thing, and I wish you all a very, very bright future. Please keep on doing the research work. And you all went, I'm sure you all underwent during this workshop all the detail of the, the manuscript writing and publishing the studies, all the steps of research. I should not mention it. We also have done our researches. I have done a FMRC research for 2 years. Those days we didn't have these facilities of these, the various computers and, we had to get the help from various people, start from editing to making the diagrams, graphic presentations, typing. All this was a very, very laborious job, and and also money. You need lot of money to do the research. So I am very happy that you are doing that. So you also should have interest and enthusiasm and involvement. These 3 things are very important. Willingness to do things. Sometimes we bog down and we just get rid of it. But we must carry on with this. So with this few words, the research can be done in various fields in nursing, because this group belongs to nursing. So I must say, we have the huge field in research. That is, number 1 is the clinical field, the general wards, the maternal and child health, which I don't know how many people are doing all this, and training, nursing training, education. I think her topic is on in the field of training, education, administration. You can do in the administration also. In that way, I can say I have done one, my research work was activity studies. So it is an administrative in the selected wards. But in fact, my study was taken by a doctor who is doing MD. And he found it very useful, my study. And in the similar studies he has done just to, for the, to complete the course you require, like we do in MSc. Similarly, this doctor also got help. So what I mean, administration also is a big field where you can do lot of studies, education, clinical areas, everywhere there is lot of chances of doing. So keep it up and all the best to you all. Thank you.
I wish we could have, everyone speaking something, so probably we are running short of time.
One thing is that my research guide was another person, but after few days she went another place and joined there. At that time I was helpless. And madam was our research teacher, but not guide. But unofficially, she was my guide, and so I grateful to her very much. And after that, 2 years already passed, and our research was not published. Ma'am always encouraged us. Why you are sitting silently? You work something.
So you will carry on.
So I am very
Definitely.
grateful to her. That's I want to say.
So, Madam and Sir has arranged a very good venue for conducting such a wonderful award-giving ceremony. And then before that, I would like to thank Madam for conducting a great session. The scientific session on manuscript writing was very beneficial. The 2 days we spent 3 hours continuously, it was the intense time we worked, saw, read the research studies, gave our correct comments and got the corrections, and that was a good learning time. And I thank you, madam, and I hope that all the participants have had made it useful, and they are all definitely going to publish their papers. Thank you once again.
Thank you.
No? So we have come to the end of our session, and before we finish, I'll request on behalf of IIN, Mr. Arun Kumar Bhadra, to say a vote of thanks for all the efforts of the participants. Sir.
I don't have a list of names of everybody, neither my memory is that strong that I remember all the names here. So, cutting short, so thank you everybody, all honored guests, honored personalities, and very interested research work, everything. So I feel myself lucky to be here. Actually, I didn't think it out that this would be so great. No, I didn't have that idea, in fact. So I have an excellent idea about Lota ma'am, but it's very lucky that I get introduced here. And developing so many students, encouraging so many people in doing their research work, this is so excellent, at least in the educational field. What I really see that under support of these many talents and these many enthusiastic people, the IIN is going to have a strong and very bright future. So that's all, everybody. Thank you very much.